Baltimore's historic pig town, once bustling with livestock, now hums to the sound of sewing machines, reviving the city's once thriving garment industry. One stitch at a time. Throughout the Baltimore Innovation Center on Wycomico Street, talented tailors and skilled artisans breathe new life into the city's needle trades, generating an atmosphere filled with creativity, craftsmanship, and opportunity. Companies like Lifting Labels are producing custom handcrafted clergy robes, kitchen aprons, and more.
The mission of Lifting Labels is to create jobs for formerly incarcerated men and women coming back to Baltimore. They're lifting the labels that people tend to put on them when they come home.
It's supporting the idea that we all have something to provide, to give, to teach, and to learn.
The Lifting Labels team manufactures custom clothing using precision, ingenuity, and creativity.
We'll get an order and develop the bill of materials with the wholesale costs. How much the fabric's gonna cost, how much the thread's gonna cost, what's the labor gonna cost to make one item. We get the fabric in, they cut the pattern, they begin to put the pieces together. Somebody's doing a sleeve, somebody may be doing, some other part of the garment, and then it all comes together. Aliana is a perfectionist.
I'm a recovering perfectionist.
She's the quality control person, and I love it because, you don't want something to go out the door that doesn't look right, and so she's the person.
We use Asana. We also have new forms where we're able to collect all the data that we need from a potential customer before we even start the project. Then we use the whiteboard and we use other forms of organization within the studio to keep things efficient.
The concept of Lifting Labels took shape when Reverend Chester France Jr. instructed a cognitive behavioral class at one of Maryland's maximum security prisons.
A young man said to me, Mr. France, when I go home, I'm gonna start a sewing business. I'm gonna make clothes and sell them. And I said to him, well, why do you think you can do that? And why do you think it's a good idea? He said, I worked in a sewing plant. I know how to sew. I was like, oh my gosh, we got 3 sewing plants in the prison system in Maryland. People come home with sewing skills, but there are no jobs.
By bringing the production of clergy vestments back home from overseas, Lifting Labels meets community needs and boosts the local economy while crafting quality garments grounded in tradition and purpose.
We've been buying robes from everybody for decades. No money comes back to the community. People that make the robes don't look like us. So I said, wow, let me see if I can pull these 2 things together, connect the dots. And that's how it started.
The Lifting Labels community includes consultant and tailor Greg Hardy, who is a fellow vendor at the Baltimore Innovation Center.
I consult on the construction of the garment, also pattern design. I have about 15 years experience in this field. I thought it was interesting what they were doing in Lifting Labels. Our paths didn't meet before here, but we had worked in a similar environment that was with the state of Maryland as an assistant plant manager. As a tailor, designing patterns for various state agencies. And I just try to give something back and pass something on. Some of the people I've worked with in the system, they develop a certain discipline for the craft. They get out and society is not benefiting from them.
It's an older population, for the most part, that comes out of prison. And so these folks are not interested in doing anything crazy. They're older now, wiser now. If they're on parole, then they have to be able to go to the parole officer once a week or once every 2 weeks. And without transportation, it's a pretty tough task to do, but they do it. And they just want to opportunity to, to continue a life that they feel good about themselves.
Securing a job at Lifting Labels goes beyond work. It means joining a supportive community.
I believe that everyone deserves healing and everyone deserves an opportunity to change for the better. Everyone deserves access to resources. Everyone deserves the access to a quality life.
Success is accomplished one garment at a time.
Our current employees are really good examples of what changing your life can look like. By having people who believe in them, it makes such a big difference on their mindset, on their joy. It makes such a big difference on the way that they work. Anthony's just very committed. Angel loves this job.
This work holds a great deal of personal significance for Reverend France.
I could have been behind the bars at some point in my young life. It is personal because I also grew up in a community in West Baltimore where maybe 5, 6 years ago, the Baltimore Sun front page article was the most incarcerated men come out of Sandtown. And I grew up in Sandtown. It's very personal because I have friends also incarcerated. And I was there just to try to help them have a good transition when it did happen. So, yeah, it's personal.
The impact of steady employment extends beyond earning a paycheck. It's a critical turning point, especially for individuals seeking a second chance.